Kristen Joe.
I'm Cameron Word.
Okay, we're so happy to have you.
Yes, we are.
We are going to get right to the topic because we have a really fun topic today.
We do.
Oh my gosh. Do you work with an energy vampire? Okay, so we know what a vampire. They suck your blood. I want to suck your blood. And then the laugh. Okay. What is an energy vampire?
So an energy vampire is a person that sucks the energy out of you.
Oh.
They're negative. They're annoying. And for me, I think that there are different types of energy vampires.
Okay.
Like there's one that there's just annoying. So just constantly, I can't stand them.
Yeah.
But the energy vampires that I dislike the most are just the negative ones.
Yeah.
They can never be happy.
Yeah. There's always a negative vibe.
They're always complaining about something.
Yeah.
Like you go on vacation with them and they're like, my room doesn't have an ocean view.
Oh.
Gosh. This food is like cold.
Oh.
Like it's just, they cannot enjoy anything. You could be by the beach drinking a cocktail and they're like, this cocktail is too sweet.
Oh.
Like they even find like the smallest things to complain about.
Okay, that is an energy vampire.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so we're going to read an article about these vampires.
Yes.
Here are some expressions that we're going to cover. Waste one's time.
This means that you're not doing something productive.
Okay.
You're not doing something useful.
And how about a fine line between A and B?
This means that there is a very small but important difference between A and B.
Okay, so they're kind of similar, but they're not the same.
They're not the same.
Okay. Feed off of. So F-E-E-D. Off of something.
This means they use that something for energy.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and listen to our article. Do you have a coworker who wastes your time constantly with meaningless conversations and constant interruptions? You might be working with an energy vampire. But there is a fine line between an annoying coworker and an energy vampire. While most people have an annoying coworker, an energy vampire will leave you exhausted and confused. You see, an energy vampire will feed off your mental energy, asking too many questions and complaining about everything and everyone. The best way to deal with them is to be direct with them by saying something like, I'm sorry, but I have to get back to work right now. So let's begin our article. Do you have a coworker who wastes your time constantly with meaningless conversations and constant interruptions?
Yes.
Not here.
Not here.
Not at Power English.
I don't know. I think some of our conversations are meaningless.
That's right.
And we constantly interrupt each other.
That is very true.
No, but they're enjoyable.
Yes.
I don't think in the end it's wasting my time.
No, I don't think so too. So I think that the difference is the energy that we kind of give off and receive. So our energies are very, very in tune with each other. But if you have someone who is a downer, like negative energy all the time, they could be wasting your time.
Yeah.
So to waste your time, we often say, when do we use this expression, to waste your time?
Right. So you can waste your own time.
Yes.
Which means kind of like you're lazy. You're not doing what you need to do.
Right.
But someone else can also waste your time.
Yes.
Like, like kids that they start telling a story, and the story is so stupid. And the story is so long.
Oh.
And they're like, and then the pony went up the mountain, and then the mountain was full of candy. So they ate the candy, but then the candy was actually poison. It's just such a dumb story.
You don't have kids, Cameron.
That's wasting your time.
This is, for mom and dads, we got to listen to all of that. And it's because there are kids, we feel like they're not wasting your time. But to be very honest, sometimes I feel like my son wastes my time quite a bit.
Gosh.
Mom, look at this. Mom. I'm like, enough. Sometimes I'm like, could you stay out? Leave me alone.
Stop
let me
waiting.
go.
Yeah, let me.
Stop it. Okay. All right. So imagine it's not your family.
Yeah.
It's a person who's not your family. They could definitely be wasting your time.
Or like a customer that pretends they're going to buy something.
Oh, boy.
But they're not going to buy anything.
Yeah, that's right.
But they want to try everything.
That's right. That's wasting your time.
Yeah.
Okay. You might be working with an energy vampire, but there's a fine line between an annoying coworker and an energy vampire.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. A fine line between A and B.
Yes.
So, annoying coworker and energy vampire can be very similar.
Yeah.
But there's a fine line between them.
Right. They seem similar, but this fine line means that there is a small but important difference.
Yes.
Right? So if you just say they're almost the same, it makes it sound like it doesn't matter if there's a big difference.
Okay.
But when you're using the word a fine line between, you're saying, yes, they look similar. But you cannot say that they are the same.
Yes.
They're just different enough that you need to be able to tell the difference.
Right. So someone can be very annoying.
Yeah.
It's like 짜증나게 하는.
Yeah.
Right? But then it is different from an energy vampire.
Right. I'll give you this example.
What?
Children can be very annoying.
Yes.
Like we just talked about.
Right.
But I generally would not say that they're energy vampires.
I agree.
However, a mother-in-law can be an energy vampire very easily.
Yes.
Like that. She's always like, oh, you didn't cook this right. Or like, oh, you need to,
Always complaining.
My son likes his like japchae with extra carrots. I don't know. Like just
extra
like,
beef.
Just every time you meet them, they just make you so tired.
They do. I think that's the thing. It's like, do they really suck away your energy?
Yeah.
Then they're probably an energy vampire. But the difference with the children is that they are born to suck your energy. They are dependent on you.
Right.
So you expect that
right.
from your child.
And I feel like even if children are tiring, there's also love.
Yeah.
And there's also sweetness, and they like bring happiness.
Innocence.
It's like when you go on vacation, they like mess up the vacation, and you're like annoyed at them.
Right.
But then at night they like hug you while you're sleeping.
It's a happy chaos.
And then like somehow that's a balance.
Yeah. But adults. No. Okay. Let's continue.
While most people have an annoying coworker, an energy vampire will leave you exhausted and confused.
There you go. So more description about what an energy vampire does.
Yes.
They leave you exhausted and confused. You see, an energy vampire will feed off of your mental energy, asking too many questions and complaining about everything and everyone.
Yes.
Our power pattern today, Cameron, is, you see, what does this mean?
So do not confuse this with as you can see. That's when you're like pointing at something and you're going to explain it, right?
Right.
When you're just saying, you see, it feels like you're leaning in. You're getting a little friendly because you're saying, hey, I'm going to explain this in more detail.
Got it.
Or in a different way that you'll understand better.
So they will feed off of your mental energy.
Yes. To feed off of literally means to like eat.
Yes.
And get energy from.
That's right.
So like fish, they'll like eat other fish. They'll feed off of that.
Yeah.
Or like sheep feed off of grass.
Right.
Right? They get their energy from the grass.
Literally, yes.
So these energy vampires, they're feeding off of your mental energy. You being like, oh, it's okay. Oh no. They want you to like care or like
and listen
to them. And that is how they get their energy.
Yeah. So it's like they are actually taking away your energy and using it to energize themselves.
They're sucking it all out. Like a thick milkshake.
Oh, dear.
Yep.
So feeding off your mental energy. And the best way to deal with them is basically to say, listen, I have to get back to work.
Yeah.
So if they do that, then you're going to say, I'm busy. Can we talk later?
Yeah, just be direct.
And then don't talk later.
Nope.
Yeah.
Block them on all social media.
All right, let's go ahead and listen to that one more time. Do you have a coworker who wastes your time constantly with meaningless conversations and constant interruptions? You might be working with an energy vampire. But there is a fine line between an annoying coworker and an energy vampire. While most people have an annoying coworker, an energy vampire will leave you exhausted and confused. You see, an energy vampire will feed off your mental energy, asking too many questions and complaining about everything and everyone. The best way to deal with them is to be direct with them by saying something like, I'm sorry, but I have to get back to work right now. Okay, it's time for Power Note. Waste one's time means just that. You are unproductive.
Yeah.
You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Often being lazy.
Being lazy.
If you're wasting your own time, but you can also waste someone else's time.
What does Nate do now that he has graduated?
Nothing. He sits on the couch all day, wasting his time watching TV.
Now, I think these days, people waste their time on social media.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guilty. You're guilty.
I have to delete it off my phone.
Oh.
I block it. I have an app that blocks my other apps. Because I waste all of my time on my stupid phone.
It's so true. I have been on social media for over an hour at times. I spent the day wasting my time when I should have been getting ready for my trip.
Oh, yeah, you've got a flight, and you got to pack.
Yeah.
I do this a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, while I pack, I'll watch a movie. And then I end up just watching the movie. And they're like, it's like 4 a.m. And I'm like, gosh.
2 hours of sleeping. One time.
Yeah.
I wasted my time. I don't know. I just couldn't get to bed, and I got zero sleep before I left for a trip to get on the plane. You know.
And then
you're wasting time.
You're wasting time doing something else.
Yeah. So I feel like a lot of times I do waste my time just doing nothing because there's so many things to do.
Yeah. You know, another way you can waste your time?
How?
Dating someone who's not serious about the relationship.
That's a big time waster.
Yeah. And it's usually the man, not always, but often it's the man who's not serious and the woman who wants to get married. So she's like, oh, maybe he'll change. Maybe he will want to get married later.
Yes.
And so she's like trying to show that she's a good girlfriend or would make a good wife. But the guy is not serious about it.
Oh, no.
He isn't gonna... We often say, hey, don't... Like, in a romantic setting, we'd be like, hey, don't waste my time. If you're not gonna marry me, we should break up.
That's true.
Like that sort of thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, wasting... I mean, it's sometimes not intentional, but it happens. So you got to be careful.
Or companies that give you an interview when they know they're not going to hire you.
That's wasting their time.
Wasting my time.
Wasting your time. Okay. So time is so valuable, everyone. So make sure that no one wastes your time, especially people.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. A fine line between A and B means that A and B are very similar.
Yeah.
But there is a difference.
Yes.
A small difference, but there is a difference.
Right. The fine here is talking about thin. Very narrow.
That's it.
And it's small. You almost can't see it, but it's there.
My kids think I'm overprotective.
There's a fine line between making sure your kids are safe and being overprotective.
This is very hard for parents, Cameron. Because moms want to be like, you want to take care of your child, protect them from bad things. But then there's a fine line, between protecting, keeping them safe, and being overly protective, like a helicopter parent.
Yeah, because then the kid gets soft.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You know what my dad did one time?
What?
We were in the woods. We were hunting.
Yeah.
And I was like playing and not following him. So my dad hid. And I was alone in the forest for like an hour. At the age of 7.
Oh.
I was very young.
He wanted to teach you a lesson.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because he was like, there's a fine line between not paying attention and just not being safe, right?
Yeah, right.
And he wanted to teach me that. He was watching me the whole time.
Sure.
He came from behind a tree.
Right.
But I spent an hour thinking, oh my gosh, I'm lost in this forest.
So that basically, you will remember that forever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right now.
I remember
you remember
it.
now.
I remember it. Yeah.
Okay. So there's a fine line between guilt and shame.
Oh yeah. These are two words that are very closely related.
So what is guilt in Korean?
Yeah, guilt is 죄책감.
Yes.
And then shame is 수치심.
Okay.
So maybe it's a cultural difference, but often I feel like guilt can be understood or necessary.
Yeah.
Like if you committed a crime,
you are guilty.
You should feel guilty.
Yes.
Shame feels heavier.
Yes.
And sometimes, not always, sometimes feels unhealthy. So maybe you feel shame that you're not the perfect mother.
Right.
Or you feel shame that you aren't a better man.
Yes.
And in that way, it often doesn't feel good, not healthy to feel shame.
So again, those two words are very similar but different.
Yeah.
Okay. Feed off of something is to use something else for energy. Why do you like being a comedian?
Because I feed off the laughter of the audience. It makes me feel alive. I think we do too.
Yeah, totally. Plants feed off the sun and air for energy.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, that's it. So feed off of something. And you see is our power pattern, which is basically saying what?
I'm going to give more details. I'm going to explain it in a different way for you to understand.
You see, when you combine the two chemicals, you get an explosive reaction.
You see, things aren't always what they seem to be at first glance.
Our power vocab today is annoying, so do check out the definition on page 126. Stop by Audio Ohakdang and listen to all of the wonderful programming there.
Yes, ours and other teachers.
Sure. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.